So let us take you to an airport now and talk to our Megan Fitzpatrick, who's covering the scene for us. Megan, there have been complaints, you probably followed them over the weekend, from people saying, I'm only being asked about Iran, Italy, and China, and I'm really worried that the screening in the airports, even though people are coming home, the screening isn't stringent enough. What is the situation this morning?
Well, Heather, we just saw a tweet a few minutes ago from the Canada Border Services Agency saying that their screening measures have now been updated, and they issued some graphics of what the screens now look like at airports like here at Pearson for all people arriving from outside of Canada, asking people if they have any symptoms like fever. And on another screen, it asks people to acknowledge that they are being asked to self-isolate for 14 days, and they have to click acknowledge on that screen in order to move ahead, Heather. And we have heard that from one traveler this morning too, who got in touch with us, telling us that was the process that they went through when they landed at Pearson earlier today. And some people I've talked to as well have said that they were handed pieces of paper with that same information that's on the screens, and telling them to self-monitor for their symptoms, and again asking them to self-isolate for 14 days. So it seems passengers arriving here at Pearson this morning are getting that updated information, Heather. I did talk to one couple who were telling me they flew through Vancouver initially from Thailand, saying they cut their trip short after that warning went out from the federal government on Friday for Canadians to start thinking about coming home early if they can. They said they weren't given that kind of screening in Vancouver when they passed through there. So it seems maybe it hadn't been updated there yet when they were flying through there. But here's some of what passengers were telling CBC over the weekend. As you mentioned, Heather, those updated screening processes not yet in place over the weekend. Here's what they were saying.
They just asked me where I was. I said Ethiopia. Apparently they have one case there right now, but they didn't know that yet. So, but there was nothing out of the ordinary.
There was a sign as we came in, but just the regular. We were asked if but only if we'd been to Iran or Italy or China. So again, it seems like the process has now been updated here. But again, it could be a busy morning here at Pearson, Heather, with lots of Canadians returning home, maybe longer processing times. And we know for people that are leaving, too, who are flying outside of Canada, even though they're being asked not to engage in a non-essential travel, the U.S. Border Patrol has also said expect longer times for pre-clearance here at Pearson for those traveling to the United States today.
The other thing that I want to ask you about, Megan, I've been talking about the Ontario numbers. Ontario with the largest number of cases in the province, and more than 40 just yesterday, including, we hear, an employee at Pearson, a CBSA employee who's tested positive. Is there any further information about that you have?
That's right. The agency did confirm that one of their employees who works here at this airport did test positive for COVID-19. They say that employee is now in isolation at home. They are not hospitalized. They say the location and time of the infection is unknown. They are notifying that person's coworkers who may have been in contact with that person, and they are cleaning the workstation where that person did work. Those are the latest details we have. The agency saying that they are working closely with the Public Health Agency of Canada, as well as the union that represents those workers, and that the safety and health of their employees is of their utmost concern. But that was a new detail that sort of emerged overnight, that among those cases in Ontario is someone that works here at the airport that works for the border agency, Heather.
Megan, thank you. And just stand by. I just wanted to clarify, because it's something that I've mentioned that people are going to notice a little bit different on our own program, Megan, in terms of how we're doing our show to make sure all of our team is safe as you at home are making adjustments, and in your workplace and your families to stay safe. Normally, Megan, you'd be talking to people there at Pearson Airport, right? But of course, when we have that microphone, it's a little bit too close given this time of social distancing. So just talk about the measures that you are taking to make sure that you're okay too.
Yeah, I mean, normally I go right up to people with a microphone and chat a lot with people. I'm definitely keeping my distance from people today. I'm not going to be going up to people with microphones today. If I am talking to them, it's at a distance from a couple meters away, just asking them, hey, what are the border agents telling you as you pass through? But I won't be as up close and personal with the public the way I usually am, Heather.
That is just fine. We want you to stay safe, and it just reminds me to tell people any questions or comments they may have. Really, maybe social media is the best way to get in touch with us and Megan, too, at CBC Morning Live, as you share your perspectives on the story. Thanks so much, Megan, and please do continue to stay safe there at Pearson International.